The visual's worth it, I promise.
Yes, it
It's
is.
worth
I promise. I promise. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right. I wanted to make sure I had that right. Okay, perfect. All right, let me start over. Share the screen. All right, so you should see that again. Everybody should see my screen. Here we go. Okay, so Gold Rush. This is what it looks like. So you get started in the business. So you're brand new, you get a spot in somebody's team, right? And so the goal is you hear this all the time, right? The first goal is to go silver, right? And Kirk and I like to tell people like you build three personals. You need to bring three personals to the team. And we recommend that you bring three personals to that first team. Now, what has happened sometimes I see is that someone's like, no, I'm going to just go ahead and start that second team and let somebody else build that other team. And here's why Kirk and I don't teach that. One, because you have to actually be a student first before you can ever be a leader. Like you have to actually understand the game of networking. You have to understand the game of actually adding people and helping people. And this first team allows you to get practice, if you will, because in between there, someone above you is going to be adding people to in between these people. You may not bring the first three. By the time you bring one personal, a couple of people may have added somebody to your team, right? But the goal is that you bring three personals. So P1, P2, P3, that's what that means. Now, just doing that, you're silver, which means now you're auto financed. And the money over there, you can see if you're bringing them in as Elite Turbo, you're getting that $80 bonus. And now during the promo, by the way, the 90-day promo that we're running right now, when you sponsor an Elite Turbo, remember what Ilian said, that you won't get the $80, it's going to resort to the Elite bonus. So I didn't put 40 because this obviously we're going to be past this promo, at some point. And if you put in an Elite Turbo, you're going to make $80. That's the real member bonus for it. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody? But during the promo period, when you add an Elite Turbo, you're only going to get the 40. Okay. And you have to understand because they're giving those 2 months for free. They have to make it up somewhere, right? And so they're just making it up in that bonus. All right. So three personals, it's going to get you to be silver. You're going to be auto financed. That's $240 just by doing that. Now, the next goal is what? To help P1, which is that personal, now go get what? Three people. Okay. So now you want to help P1 be able to sponsor three. And just by doing that, because you're a silver, you're now also going to get a builder bonus. You're going to get a $20 builder bonus for each of those people. Okay. That go into your team. And that is, by the way, P1 shows you that's one personal enrollment team starting to grow down in your first leg. Okay. Now what's the next goal? Help P2 to do the exact same thing, right? And again, simultaneously, you're doing this. So when Kirk and I are working with people, it's not like we're like, okay, we just put in three people. Well, all my focus is on P1, and then hold on, P2, I'll get to you in a minute. No, it's simultaneously you're working, right? And so P2 might have brought that first person before P1 did. Okay, so you just know I had to build this like in a structure so it's visual, but these can work in different orders as you're working with people. Now, again, if once you get P2 getting their three personals, you're going to obviously still be getting that builder bonus of $20, which you can see what that adds up to. What's the next goal? Help P3 bring their three people. So when you do that all in one team, you literally can go gold in one team. Now, here is why this is so powerful and why I believe that you should keep people just going straight down because this is team approach. This is getting people, it creates leverage. So imagine being able to go out and share this opportunity and you've got six people going into your team and you're helping P1, bring somebody else in. And now y'all can say, hey, look, we just added six people to this team. You're going to want to get this spot because I can guarantee you just in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have another six. right? It's leverage for you as you're starting to understand what team approach actually means, okay? Because remember, even though there's people coming into your team that isn't maybe directly connected to you, let's say that they're not your personals, you're still going to get to count that later on after you go platinum. That overflow is going to open up to you to be able to actually go to the next level. So you want to get involved in team approach. And then just by doing that, by helping three and them get those three get their three, that's 12. So now guess what? You're gold. You've just hit gold. That's gold rush right there in one team. And that puts you at that $300 a month, that guaranteed income of that $10 a day that's going to start coming in. Now, what is the next goal? As you're out sharing this, you're going to then start your second leg with P4. That's your fourth personal. Okay. Now, that's $80 bonus right there. What is your goal with P4? Do the same thing. Now you're going to help P4 get their three. So now you just help P4 become silver, get auto financed. And then because you're a gold, you're actually now going to get a builder bonus of $40 per person. Okay. So you're at another level. Now your builder bonus goes up. Okay. So now once that person goes silver, okay, and now you're helping, if they start to add more people in there, you can look at the builder bonus chart and see the different bonuses that you're going to get as you grow those personal enrollment teams. Okay. So this is as basic, guys, it's actually really basic, but let me tell you why it's so important. Some people I have seen and they've struggled, they've come, they said, I need advice. Me and my team's not going anywhere. And they have just like one person hanging out here and they never added anybody to, their first team. And they're struggling. They're like, how do I get this thing going? Because you never got involved in depth with your leader, understanding what true team approach looks like. And then you lose leverage, right? You literally lose leverage with that. But when you can, what I call being a student and what I also call an apprentice team, this first team becomes your apprentice. You're learning. You're learning from your leader. You're learning how to add people in. You're learning how to duplicate. And then imagine if you can help three people in this team get their three. Do you think you can do it again in a second leg? Heck yeah, you can do it again. You actually start to understand duplication. And here's what this model does. It creates the right system so everybody's doing the same thing. So now what are you teaching P1, P2, and P3? You're teaching them to go gold rush. So if all of P1, P2, and P3 knows to go gold rush, now times that by 12 times 3. What's 12 times 3? Now you've just built a team of 36. Well, now times 36 by 3. Do you see how now you can get into exponential growth when you actually have a systematic way to build your teams? The reason a lot of people don't get into exponential growth is because they have just random building patterns, right? People get in, they don't know how to build. Where do I put this person? Well, I'm not getting any help. I thought so-and-so was going to build underneath. Do you see what I'm saying? But when you can start to teach a team how to actually build in depth and deep teams, if I could pull up, my team, you would see it's not messy. It's actually very straight down depth, leverage. And then I've got people starting second teams. And guess what? Those teams are going straight down because they understand what it means to actually have duplication in your team. So I'm going to pull up really quick. I think I have to stop sharing to do my whiteboard. All right, let's see how fun this is. All right, so remember, here's you, right? You get started. Oh boy. What just happened?
I've
Right.
never tried the writing on the whiteboard, so I don't
I know. Here's you. Oh, Sarah McClintock. Is someone trying to draw for me here? I have that name popping up. Okay, so here you can see as your leader is putting people underneath you, maybe this is where P1 comes, right? Maybe by the time you really find your first personal, you already have people coming into your team, right? So remember, then this person's dropping in, and this is the question I always get. But Nicole, these people really aren't my people, right? There's somebody else's personal. But remember, that's okay. That's still leverage. When you go talk to someone, you can say, oh my goodness, I already have, 8 people underneath me. And because that, again, those people are going to open up once you hit platinum. That's going to open up for you to go titanium. Remember, you get the overflow of what your support team is doing with the other people. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's really what you want. You want to be able to drive depth, you want to have leverage, and you want to create duplication. People want to know, how do I build? How do I build this structure? And how do I actually make money doing it? So I'm going to open it up really quick just for any questions, because I know this always poses people having questions. So Dana, are you okay with that for a couple of questions?
Yes, yeah, please.
Okay. Okay, perfect. If anybody has a question, let me know.
Nicole, I have one.
Okay, yes.
So like I have my person who signed me up, my direct up line or whatever you want to call her. And she started building like one leg and then put me over here on another leg. So when I start to build, I don't worry about what that other side is doing at all. I just pretend they're not there. Is that correct? And I just build down, 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 down. Is that correct?
So I personally don't worry about what's going over there. And this is what I was saying in the very beginning. All of that's great that you have growth going on right in another leg, and it's wonderful. But what you never want to be in a position. I'm gonna have to shut this off because I got like names. Do y'all see it? I have no idea.
And smiley faces. Yeah.
No idea what's happening. And now I got to figure out even how to X out of this thing. So let's see. How funny. Okay, let me see. Oh, yay.
Oh,
Okay.
there you are.
Yay. Okay, perfect. Anyways, because one thing I always recommend, I'll give you an example. Recently, there's somebody that I am coaching with, and they're saying, okay, I have this spot where like I want to go to the next level. Like I'm trying to go to the next level, but the other side where I haven't been working isn't growing as fast as this side. So what do I do? Do I call them and tell them they need to add more people? I was like, no, this is the position you don't want to be in. You never want to be in a spot where you're held hostage by someone else that's supposed to add more people. You be the leader. You go throw a personal down at that bottom and what we call get a grip. Get a grip with another personal enrollment team and start to duplicate the process so you can grow to the numbers that you need to grow to hit a level. Okay. The way Kirk and I build is we are simultaneously going back, right? And always building where do we need to help? Where do we need to push? Where do we need to coach? Where do we need a spot that needs to grow? And that's how you really want to build the business.
Okay, so using your model that you just did with the P1, P2, P3, I don't even worry about P4 over there until I've done P1, P2, P3. Is that correct?
No, I'm not saying don't worry about P. Do you have P4? Do you have that
No,
other?
no, I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Correct. Yes, you are correct on that.
Okay.
So, the goal is that you put 3 people in that first team first. Because people need to know how to build. They need to understand, they need to get involved in team approach. They need to actually know what they're doing. And then that personal number 4 can start the second leg. Now there are cases where Kirk and I have, and I don't even like to use the word let because we're not like a boss. We're not like, no, you can't, because it's your own business, right? You can pretty much do whatever the heck you want. But if they're asking for our coaching, here's what we're saying. And if it's somebody that has a lot of activity, like they're out literally sharing the opportunity and they have a lot on the board, right? They just it hasn't come in yet. And they have somebody, like maybe they've put 2 personals in and they know that, the P3, they've got some people that are going to be in common with those 2. And they have this extra one that just got in and they're like, man, I'd really like to start my other leg with that. That scenario would be like, yeah, absolutely. Start P4 over there because you have so much on the table right now. Does that make sense? But someone that's just starting and like they're trying to get their get to silver and get auto financed, We're like, no, stay right here, get your 3 and let us help you help those go get their 3. Because Kirk and I aren't leaving them behind. We're saying, no, we're actually going to help you work with those people to keep that team going. So when that person's over now starting P4 and building, we're like, go duplicate. And then we've got people here that we're still helping them with. Like Kirk and I are going in and helping them share the opportunity and sharing, the Zoom presentations with them or whatever. Like we're keeping that team going while we're also adding more team ourselves.
Okay,
Does that
so
make
if
sense?
I was going to use names, so if I get 3 people tomorrow, instead of doing them out this way, I'd go, let's say it's Sue, Tom, and Joan. I would put them one right under each other. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right,
So
got
you're
it. Thank you.
leveraging each one by putting somebody below that person. So
Right.
you're building that team underneath them because that will matter once you hit titanium. And that's why you see a lot of people go platinum and titanium in the same day. And it's hard to explain until you're actually there, but you'll see the points and the way that the points don't matter until you're at titanium.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people, when they come in, they get so fixated on collecting people just to get people in to hit silver, but then they never duplicate the process. So what happens, and we've all seen this if you guys have been here for a while, is that that person gets lost in the sauce, they leave, and now you just hit silver. And now you need 2 more people again because 2 people left. So following this process and this duplication and spending time in the quality. It's more about quality than quantity. I know everybody wants to, collect people and get to gold as quickly as possible, but you're going to get to gold more sustainably this way. And you're going to stay there versus dropping your rank or losing people, which is frustrating because it will drop your rank. And at that point, it matters a lot. So this process that Nicole and Kirk teach, I think is so valuable because you're teaching, you're empowering the people that you're bringing in to run their own business with your help, and you're empowering them to be able to be a leader or learn to be a leader and lead. And
Right.
that's it's so
Yeah.
important.
Such a great point. And as you're collaborating that team together, they're communicating. So we have our team communicating of like, hey, yeah, I got a yes. Hey, I got a maybe. Hey, I got a no. Okay, well, there's 3 yeses right now. Go back to your no and tell them that we have 3 people right now that we can put in their business.
Mhm.
So think about as you communicate with a team and all of you, we call it a depth squad, right? We've built a depth squad of people that say, hey, communicate to us when you have a yes, a no, a maybe. And now let's drive this team even faster. How many more in depth can we drive this team to create leverage, right? You made a really good point. I'm gonna have to do the whiteboard again. Sorry, because I want to, this is huge. And Dana just was touching on it and it brought something that's so, so important. So here's what I see right now. Let's say here's you. You have somebody that is building a team. You've got growth happening somewhere.
I'm not seeing anything, Nicole. Are you writing? Okay, here we go.
Do you see it now?
Yes,
Does
I
it?
see it.
Yep, we see it now.
Okay, perfect. So let's say there's people coming in and this is you. Okay, I'm going to try to, there you are. And your person has told you, hey, go just, the next person you, someone is having fun on my screen here. Go start your team, the person you just got in, put them over here instead of putting them down here. I see this so much. Then this person right here never went and got another person. They quit. They're done. X out. They're out. This sweet little person right here who's so excited, fired up, saw the vision, is active, and they have no help.
Mhm.
None. They get totally left because this person never actually understood how to build a team.
Mhm.
But when you put this person in depth, now they get belief. They see you said that you're doing what you said you would do, which is help build a team because you also have a support team that's also showing them that, hey, we're doing this. Whether this person does or not, you're in the growth of the team, right? But when you leave them out here and you never understood how to actually build teams and build depth, you're doing that person an injustice.
Mhm.
But when you actually learn in a first team and can understand duplication, now you actually can be a leader over here. You can actually become the teacher over here that can start to teach the process. But you got to learn it over here first. So
Nicole,
that's probably the biggest deal.
question in the comments, and this came up a lot when our team was first starting. So I'd love to hear your how you answer this. So Shayna said, so our legs don't have to be balanced until titanium. I wasn't able to hit gold because my legs, I'm assuming she meant to say my legs weren't balanced. And then Angel said, can you move them once they're on one side? You have, I believe it's 72 hours that you can move somebody. If it gets placed in the wrong spot and you're like, oh, I didn't want to put them there, you can move them. I think it's a 72-hour window. But no, once they're in a spot, you can't go back and be like, oh, I didn't really like where I put that person because people leave and whatnot. So how do you answer our legs don't have to be balanced until titanium because people weren't able to hit gold because their legs were not balanced? And that was a problem. And I haven't seen it come about, but it was a problem for a few people. So I just would love to hear like your take on that.
Yeah. So they're saying that they couldn't hit gold
Right.
or they couldn't hit because gold is basically just 12 people in your personal enrollment teams. And so if you build this model, so probably it may have been that you had 12 that were just, were you because I'd need to know more of like how
Yeah.
they were put in. So that's a real specific question based on, were
I think
they
you need to have
doing
6 points. If I'm not mistaken, I think you need to have 6 points of personal enrollment in order for you to hit gold. So if you think you have 12 people, but it's you only brought in three, then you're not going to hit gold. Am I saying that correctly? I
Yes,
believe. Yeah.
exactly. The
Okay.
12 people have to be in your in personal enrollment team.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's why, like, when I go back, I need to let me see if I can share back here where you saw the this. So when you follow this model by helping this person get three and this person get three and this person get three, your personal enrollment teams are balanced because it's not all coming from one just one enrollment team, if that makes sense. And they're all directly, I look at it as bloodlines. Think of a bloodline, right? So P1 has a bloodline, right? They're all connected. Think like generational bloodline. P2 has a bloodline. That's a whole separate enrollment team. And then P3 is a whole separate enrollment team. And so when you build that structure, they're balanced, right?
Mhm.
But if you're trying to count other people coming into the team, like you have 12 people and you've only brought in two, that's not gold.
Mhm. Right.
So,
Yep. Yeah. Does this make sense? I mean, for a lot of you guys that have been here for a while, I really like the structure of this, and there was a lot of that happened organically, but there was also a lot of people that tried to branch off and do their own thing. And so this is a great way for those of you that are new. This is a great way to start and to just build. There's a lot of you that have a lot of volume below you, right? On whatever side you're on and wherever you're located. So look at where yeah, we all have a lesser leg. Look at your lesser leg and put those people there and focus on building there. And you're always going to have, I was having this conversation with Jen Perga and with Christy Garrity, that you're always going to have one leg that's unbalanced. So it's like you're building one and then maybe you get some really hot performer. That person comes in and blows it up. And now you're like, oh crap, I got to go back to the other side. Right. So you're
right.
always going to, we were talking about this too with Nicole and Kirk. And you just never know. It's going to flip flop. Right. And that's a good problem to have.
Yes.
But right now, look at your lesser leg and focus on what that volume looks like for you to get where you need to be. And there's a lot of you that are very unbalanced and that's a tremendous opportunity for you to look at building this gold rush on that side that's going to push you into those next ranks.
Yes, that's such a great point. And we can kind of wrap up with this whole point right here is that at any point you can always get a grip. And so we have people ask Kirk and I all the time, like, where can I go on? Like it's messy right now. I don't know who to work with. You go at the bottom of your team and you find the most excited person down there that's ready to build and you get a grip right there. And you go put a personal underneath them and you build Gold Rush. That's how you do it. At any point, you never have to be held hostage that your team is not growing because you can always go to the bottom of your teams, find the most excited person, and get a grip right there and start duplicating. So that's really what I recommend for some of you that are trying to go to the next level. Go down and see where can I get a grip in my team and start to really duplicate, a fresh process.
So someone asked a question, how do we know if someone who joins our organization was placed on our right leg? Well, it matters what side it matters what side you're on to us because we're all on different sides for different people, right? So it's like you're looking at your own personal tree, right? So I'm not quite sure how to answer your question. If our upline doesn't look involved anymore,
I would answer it this way, Dana, if you don't mind me
sure,
answering this.
please.
Um, just remember at any point you can decide to say, I'm doing this. If your upline quit, if they're no longer doing it, it does not matter. You at any point can say, remember how you saw my diagram, there was you, right? And I didn't even show in that gold rush that your support team was putting anybody. I showed how you just go out, add three, help those three, add three, and now you have an entire new team that you can go build a dynasty team with just on that structure. You just duplicate everybody. If everybody in that team said, let's go gold rush, think of how you can build depth after depth after depth just on that alone. And then you duplicate it in another team, in your second leg.
Yeah.
So
And when people say their upline quit or their sponsor quit, your up team or your upline is still here. Everybody here on this call, Nicole and I are your up team, right? So Tom and Kim, for the most part, it depending unless you snuck in from another line, but it doesn't really matter. We're all here to help. Jen Perga, Heather, everybody's here to help, and we're all in the same organization. So nobody's going to sit there. If you come to somebody, they're not going to go, let me see, who's your sponsor? Oh, I can't help you, right? So just because your sponsor quit doesn't mean that you don't have support. I've heard that a lot from a lot of people. And I want to remind people that I have people coming to me that I know are not in my organization and I don't really care. I mean, I'm here to help them. We've connected over, being at the conferences and things like that. So I'm here to help and I want everybody to succeed because in the end, it helps our company and it helps other people see what we have here. So I never look at it as I'm not going to help this person go talk to your sponsor, right? I mean, there are people that leave. That's any business, right? Any company, people quit their job, they're not there the next day, whatever. Find the next person to go to. We're all here to support you.
right. And there was somebody that made the comment, I am confused on how people were saying they hit ranks like platinum and above, but were saying they only had 9 personals. Okay, so remember, if they put in 9 personals, those 9 personals become, think of it like a bloodline again, right? So let's see, Mary, John, Tom, Sue. Well, Mary brought so and so. That's still that line of personal, right? So you can actually go platinum. See, platinum is what, 30 people? Right? Okay. So let's say that you brought not, okay, y'all help me do math. 30 divided by 9 is what?
Uh,
It's just
three,
sad.
3.3.
Is it 3? So yeah, basically 9 times 3 is 27. So let's say that so those 9 each brought 3. Well, now you're just 3 away from platinum. So you can go platinum with just 9 personals, but those personals need to sponsor some people because they all got to be in your line of sponsorship to go platinum.
Mm-hmm.
Does that, I hope that cleared it up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how
Nicole, I
that
love your analogy of the whole bloodline. It makes me think of Game of Thrones, and you have, the different bloodlines there, and you have a High Garden, and I can't think of the Tyrells and all of them. And it's just if you think of it like that, it really makes it easy to visualize it in your head.
Yes,
So that was a major aha. I see it kind of thing. Thank
good,
you.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah, down in a leg, you're going to have multiple bloodlines, right? And you're going to have your up team maybe adding other bloodlines, which is going to be that overflow that you're going to count, obviously, for titanium and stuff as you go to higher ranks. So,
Right, right. Nicole, do we want to talk a little bit about placement? So let's say we've got somebody that's brand new, right? And so they're right here and they've got their left leg and their right leg. We're putting people on the outside, correct? on the outside left or the outside right. We're not putting people on the inside legs. Can we talk a little bit about that?
So when you say that, it all depends on where someone is at right now, right? So like if you're at the bottom of your team, this is how Kirk and I do it. Like we go outside for that depth team. And then when they're going to start their second leg, it would be the inside.
Right. Right.
So, yes, you want to start on the outside leg, building the depth, and then you're going to start that personal number 4 on your other leg that then starts your second leg of depth.
Right. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Awesome.
Anybody else before we sign off? I hope this was helpful for everyone. Gives a little bit of visuals and perspective.
Yes. Hopefully, it helps you just see the power of depth and leverage. When you can really collaborate with a team and start to combine the efforts of a team working together, you just can get so much more momentum, right? Instead of someone just going out and like splattering people everywhere, right? And now you've got, well, I don't know where to work. I don't know what this person's doing. But when you can really collaborate together and build depth, it can make a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was great. Thank you guys all for being here. And this was recorded. I saw somebody just asked. So Nicole, just let us know when the recording's ready. And if you guys have any questions, you know that you can always come to us. Don't worry about if your sponsor left. It doesn't matter. You have so much support here. So plug into the calls, reach out to your upline. We're all here to help you. Don't be afraid to reach out to Tom and Kim and Nicole and myself and, even Jen and whoever you need to get the answers that you need. Just kind of incorporate who you need to get things done. We're all here to help you because it helps all of us.
Yes, awesome. Y'all have a blessed evening. It was great to be with you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Recording.